Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. First, I want to say thank you, Ponus, for buying me a coffee. You're entered in the giveaway as well. And if anyone else is interested, it's not a requirement. Both our links are in the description. Thank you for coming to our first episode. I am excited to be doing this with Rachele. Great idea. And yeah, so we're going to bring you an angel and the demon counterpart every week from the Kabbalah angelic beings and then the Ars Goetia demon beings. And we're going to kind of discuss them and maybe some ways you can invoke them. And probably next week, because I am very unprepared this week, I know I'm awful, we'll include maybe some backstories and stuff of them. But yeah, so the demon this week is Cameo.
Bum-ba-da-bum. That's the sigil. Oh, if you can even see it. I think it's too close, probably.
You can see it, yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably blurry for my camera.
And our angel this week is, I don't have the angel deck, so.
Vehuia, or Vehuia.
Which, you know, notice they're both actually quite similar in depiction. Right?
Absolutely.
Hello, Hellboy. Hi, long hair, skinny eye toe. Hi, Maria. Hello, Ponus and Raven. Thank you all for joining, and Irish.
Hi, guys.
Alrighty, so
what do you want to start off with first, honey?
Alrighty, let's well, I have more information on Cameo than I could find with the angel. So I'll start with him, and then you can read what you found on him, and we'll compare notes. You know, we got resources from different sources. So you guys, whatever resonates with you, if you're thinking about working with these spirits, just pull what you want to from them. We're just bringing you, we're the messengers, okay? So in my research with Cameo, I also found two origin stories. One that he was of the original angelic creatures, and then one that he was actually Caym. He is the 52nd or 53rd, depending on which source or which Goetia you get it from, goetic demon, and a president that is said to take the form of a bird or a man carrying a sword. He was of the order of angels, but now has rule over 30 legions of infernal spirits. He can be invoked using fire, and many seek him out for divination purposes or past, present, and future help. He gives man better understanding of birds and animals. In fact, I found in one of Michael Ford's sources that he had a little testimony in one of his Luciferian Goetia that he wrote, that he knew a veterinarian that wore the seal of Cameo while working on his animals because he felt that it helped him connect better and understand the animals better. So I found that very interesting. And so fire, divination, and animals seem to be an area of his expertise. He is also the voice of waters and known to be one to outwit even the smartest or wittiest of people or practitioner. If you evoke him, one heed would be to watch the flame around you because he can manipulate them, and he loves his fire, his pyrokinesis. His color is orange and red. His incense is storax. Planet Mercury, his metal's mercury. An element is fire, and his lesser element would be water. His enchant is Tasa, On, Ka, Caym, Rinnik, and he is a night demon. I got that his archangel was Michael, but of course we're going to discuss that in a bit. We got kind of different information when it came to that. And yeah, so he can also teach astral projection, shape shifting, flying and levitating. And pyromancy is the best form of divination to use if you are going to work with him. I did look into some, forums of other practitioners who have worked with this entity, and they say that he is usually well-mannered and more of a less tempered, like very good to work with type of entity. So if you connect with him, you'll also possibly notice, this seemed to be quite popular amongst the chat in the forums as well, that birds will kind of flock around you more frequently and have odd behavior. And children can be easily sensitive or disturbed by his energy. So this would be probably one you would not want to do an invocation with children in the house. Some are more okay than others, but I thought that I would include that in case somebody was interested in working with this entity. So what did you find on him, honey?
Okay, so I mean, pretty much, yeah, everything that you said. I got stories from different, like, sources, like you said, different, because I have no clue when it comes to demon stuff. So one is called the Pseudomarchia Daemonum. This was written in 1583, and it was written by Joanne Weir. And it just says Caym, because that's also the name for him, is Caym. Is a great president, taking the form of a thrush, which is a blackbird. But when he putteth on a man shape, so he was a shapeshifter, he answered in burning ashes. So yeah, if you were doing even like incense, where you're just using the coal and the incense that's coming up like that, you could do that, which his incense was, what was it? Storax. Which I'm wondering, is that a resin? Is Storax a resin? Maybe.
It could be. To be honest, that's one I'm not too familiar with.
I'm not either.
It's difficult.
Sorry. Also, it says, carrying in his hand is the most sharp sword. He maketh the best disputers. He giveth men the understanding of all birds, of the lowing of bullocks, the barking of dogs, and also of the sound and noise of waters. Now, I got that not only is he fire and water, because he can hear the sounds in the water, but also air, because the direction is east, which is air, but also because he is the wisest. The intellect has to do with the air sign. So I had that. I had that he is also, which, funny enough, and this, he's the Fool card in this particular deck, which is the Occult Tarot by Travis McHenry. I think I said that right. And so he's the Fool. Yeah, he's the Fool in this. However, it's interesting that he is the Spirit 53 or Demon 53. And on the few resources that I got, Sully, I'm sorry. Okay. He is associated in the tarot with the 9 of Pentacles as well as the 10 of Wands.
Wow.
So that's interesting. I wonder why the Fool, other than maybe because he was known as like the president of hell. So maybe like the first, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, some other things that I took of note. Another place said that his planet was the sun and his metal was gold. Ooh. And then another one said air, and then Mercury was his metal, and the planet was Mercury. I got a corresponding angel of Nuneo, which is in the what do they call it? Like the Shem or whatever, the angels, the 72 angels. that
From the
53 is not negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I also got that, yeah, he was a night demon, and he governed over 30 legions of spirits, and also was originally part of the Order of the Angels and then became a fallen angel. He is said to bless witches with excellent intuition if you work with him. He can help the practitioner or witch assume different shapes, and like beasts and stuff like that in your dreams, shapeshifter in your dreams, and also help you with flying in your dreams, also help you with astral projection. He is great for teaching the witch how to be a diplomat and a great disputer. So if you have problems, let's say, with your throat chakra and you're not good at expressing yourself, this particular demon is good at helping you with that, expressing yourself and being a diplomat. He is also great for summoning for any kind of divination. And he is bound to telling you the truth. So if you really want to know the truth, this is the one that you want to summon, because he is a truth teller. And it should be done at night. And during the other planets that I got that he was associated with, is Mercury and, the sun, which would make sense with the fire, right? So during his most active planetary season is when you would want to use him, or at a certain time, which wasn't his, between midnight to 20 minutes after midnight.
Yeah.
I think that. Let me pull my.
Which, if you don't really know the times, per se, that's okay too. If you're thinking about doing an evocation, midnight between the witching hours, if you don't know their times, is the perfect time to do it if you're not quite sure.
Yeah, I think that's what I had got, though, was like within 20 minutes after midnight to 20 minutes after. And Mercury, when Mercury is close to the earth or whatever, or it's in the season of Mercury, then. So that's pretty much all I got, other than the colors that I got that he was associated with was orange and green. And also associated with the zodiac sign of Virgo.
I got Aries. That's interesting.
Also, I got that this could be your the times to work with them is dates is September 2nd through September 11th, and alternate dates would be September 4th through September 13th, and according to Tickaboo, it would be December 12th through December 16th. So I don't know if that's also kind of like the angels, because I know when I was researching the angels, what they say for that is if you were born during those periods of time or in those dates, that is like your guardian angel. So I wonder if that's what it was supposed to mean. Well, this would be your guardian demon. Probably. I mean, because it was an angel. It is an angel.
Yeah, and we all apparently are born with one as well, just like we are with an angel.
Right. Hi, everyone coming in. What number did you say Cameo is in the Vehuiah? Well, 52 or 53?
It depends. There's so many. In the lesser key, I do believe he is the 53rd, and 52nd in the Luciferian, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. But it depends, because there's been so many redos of the Vehuiah too, and the lesser keys from other practitioners. So you'll find the information kind of varying, which one purpose that I'd like this series to be too is to show you guys this during your research, how much different sources of information that you're going to pick up, and the diversity And the importance to take out of that is do what resonates with you. No matter what one practitioner says is right or the other, it may not be completely right for you. So go to multiple sources, gather all the information you can, and then decipher it according to what fits with you or resonates with you. And you will have success, my darlings.
Right on. Right on. Didn't we say that this one was associated with carnelian?
Yes, the
Oh,
angel.
the angel.
Mm-hmm.
It was the angel that was? Okay, because I'm getting confused. But I mean, if the color is orange, because I don't see any stones here that it's actually associated with. Did you get any stones?
For Cameo,
Cameo.
I got mercury as a metal to work with. And the stone I got for the angel, though, was ruby. However, I mean, red fire, you think ruby. Yeah, that is so beautiful.
Yeah. So does anyone have anything that they'd like to add about Cameo that they know?
This one.
The sources are so different from one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. Sometimes you have to wonder. Yeah. Well, see, my rule of thumb is go to the earliest source. That's like my rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Because anything after that is kind of like people also taking their own spin on it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But
right.
When I think of this kind of information getting to us, I think of it as information that was given to us by them, right? And then it's been passed down. So the oldest source, I think, is the one that is less distorted. That's just my personal opinion. But
and then you'll get, occultists that grow in their popularity, and they'll come up with their own theology or philosophies or ideology and put their spin on it. So that too, we have to take into consideration, which I don't feel is wrong necessarily. It just may not be right for you, because the way I talk to these entities may not be the same way they communicate with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he does sound magnificent.
Lady Maria says, I'm just having an off day, guys. Says that the Fallen Angels Oracle references a book from 1563. That's probably, well, this one says 1583. And it's called, you know what, that's going to be too small for you to see. Pseudo Monarchia Daemonum. Yeah. But it's written by Johann Weyer. So,
which isn't too bad of an informational source, because I've used it a couple times.
When it comes to demons or angels, when they bless you, did you feel differently? I've never. So, Courtney?
When they bless me, I mean, yeah, if I'm just around them or feeling their energy, I feel very different. I haven't had the privilege too much of working with a lot of angelic, like the lighter angelic beings, but that's something I do want to kind of get into here soon, along with the darker ones and their counterparts. But I mean, when I've had demons bless me with gifts or information or resources or help with my abilities, yes, I felt, God, exhilarated, liberated. Feels great, feels amazing, right? Because the seeker's soul being fed with information or knowledge is one of the most satisfying feelings ever.
So, Maria says the oldest is the Key of Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be like roughly 2,000 years ago, right?
Right.
But the versions that we're reading of that, that's what I was asking when we were looking at them the other day. because these sources are like from what, 1900s, 1800s. They're not the actual, not the actual book. There's somebody else's like interpreting of it.
Right.
So where do you access that actual Key of Solomon? That's what I wonder.
Yeah. And I mean, plus, I mean, there's a lot of debates. It's so controversial when we're talking about Solomon's work, or the Lesser Key of Solomon in the Goetia. If you're in the left-hand path community, you will see how diverse and debated that subject is. Some even say you don't even agree with practitioners working with it because it is of a Jewish thought process or descent or source, right? Yeah. So I mean, it's very diverse. It really is up to the practitioner or the person.
Oh, okay.
I personally would.
Isn't that interesting?
What seems most logical? Yeah. I get a lot of my information from communicating with the entity as well, Hellboy. Also online. I do take my sources online, but I will develop with a pendulum and some other things, incense, mirrors, and I will develop a little pendulum board with their sigil or seal on it, and I will dedicate it to them and consecrate it to them and do like a little ritual communication setting. And I will get a lot of my information or questions answered in that way if you don't want to invoke them or evoke them yet into your life. That's a really good way to do it, which I'll probably put some PDFs once I create them of these different pendulum boards I use with each demon. And maybe that could help you guys.
Julianne said, did you say that Cameo was one of the Shem angels? No. Vehuia is one of the Shem angels, which is going to be, that's the angel part that we have not gotten to yet. We're still on Cameo the demon. And Jennifer said, as with any witchcraft, you need to make it your own. I agree.
Right.
Exactly. Take whatever information resonates with you and doesn't, and just work with it that way. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I did think that it was really interesting that we got so much different information. And now even Lady Knight of Avalon said 1563 is what she got from the D. I'm not even going to try it. You can see it.
Daemonium.
Yeah. By Johann Weyer. And that's exactly not what I got here. So maybe there was another work that they did 20 years later or something. That's just interesting. Or somebody just accidentally put an 8 instead of the 6, right?
Possibly. Yeah. So with Vehuia, is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Vehuia. I like it. So I got that he was angel number 1 in the Kabbalah, and the sort of seen as the door that leads to the divine world, which I did see some reference to like Metatron or Enoch, which is interesting because Metatron, the word meaning of that is not in this reality. So I thought that connection and fact was really cool. And what's also seems bizarre to me is, if I'm not mistaken, I think Metatron, is he not considered a demon or a daimon now?
Well, according to Doreen Virtue, she just came out, I believe, and said that yes, Metatron is a demon.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Because Enoch apparently was Metatron before, and so
yes,
that's really cool to like look into. But so this angel represents will, new beginnings, success, and love, guardian of those born between the 21st and 25th of March, and brings wisdom and enlightenment. I got the element is the same as the counterpart with Cameo, and that it was fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I got his planet is Mars, and also the color the same as Cameo, which is red and orange. I got that his planet is ginger, metal is iron, and stone is ruby. However, the stone for evocation I got is cornelian, the one that you just showed everybody. And isn't that pretty, guys? And the meaning of his name is the exalting of God, said to have immense courage and bravery in situations when you are lost and desperate, or great to call upon when you are in despair or have lost hope. He can heal and mend love. And yeah, it's all I could really find. What's interesting, guys, is when we were researching, I found less about the angel and more about the demon, and Rachele found more about the angel and less about the demon. I love how we complete each other, doll.
You complete me. These are like our conversations all the time, guys. We're such nerds. So I also got that, yes, if you're born between March 21st and March 25th, that Vehuia is your guardian angel. Now, if you were born January 9th, March 21st, June 3rd, August 17th, or October 30th, that Vehuia is your heart angel. And the intellect, when to contact for intellect, that is the angel here, is midnight to 20 minutes after midnight for this particular angel. So I was just getting them confused. I also got that Vehuia has a feminine energy, whereas Cameo was a masculine energy. I also see here that it said has the energy that represent, or 0 to 5th degree in Aries, 0 to 5 degrees in Aries, and that the governing archangel for this particular angel is Metatron. That's what I got there. But the planetary energies that I got for this particular angel was Neptune and Uranus. I'm sorry, I'm such a child.
Love it.
Element was fire, symbolizes creation and transformation. Carnelian, and the colors that I got for this particular angel was magenta or pink. And funny enough, I was writing in pink and I didn't even know until afterwards. Yeah, and the name means exalting God is what I got from that. But there was also another thing that said something like above all other creatures or something like that. Did you see that bit about it?
I didn't.
Yeah. Also, I got that this is the angel, when you're talking about the 7 deadly sins, that actually rules over the power of sin itself.
Azazel. Wow.
The qualities that he provides you with are he embodies the will of the divine and fills you with the primordial fire of creation, gives you the means to carry a new project out and or lead you to success or finishing that project. He is a leader and instills that in the people that are working with them, that ability to be a leader. Helps people remove confusion, or if you feel like you're trapped, something like that, helps you with that. Fills you with passion, confidence, and creation. Shows you your worth and other people's worth as well. Helps you succeed in anything that you're trying to do. Also can help ease if you have like control issues and you want to be in control all the time. Can actually help you work on that particular thing about yourself. Protects from anger and irritation. Protects you from supporting projects that are going to fail. So he might, or she might, or this feminine energy might give you obstacles, so many obstacles that it's hard for you to keep on going. Protects not just you, but also will protect all your family and friends in your area. Helps guide you from overreacting, like in certain situations. Gives you like, a sense of like calm, so you don't just helps you achieve goals. Helps with emotional and physical pain, is one for healing. Helps you with your relationship to yourself, helps you with your own self-love.
Mend love as well, right?
What is
Like,
that?
I think she can mend love as well, right? Like, if you're having relationship issues, she can like help mend it.
Yeah. Can help you with if you're stubborn and pig-headed. I think those are the actual words, like pig-headed, stubborn. Can help you with that. Pretty much help you not be an enemy to your own self. Helps you to stop like destroying anything that could cause problems in your own destiny.
Well, I need that angel.
Yeah. Don't we all?
So something interesting I want to point out, we already discussed the Metatron thing, but they go back to the Watchers, and as you were explaining that about this angel and the correlation with the sin, what's interesting is Azazel was mentioned in the book of Enoch, and it was also mentioned, I think, in some biblical texts that people would bring a goat to sacrifice, one to God, one to Azazel, to wipe away their sins or their karma from other lives. And I see how that all kind of connects, which brings me to that whole point of it really does look like they're one in the same. Whether we look at the duality, there is that gray area, right?
Well, you did say that you believe, or one of your thoughts was that the demon is actually just like the shadow self of that corresponding angel, right? And what it was in the video that you just released yesterday that Carl Jung said about if you want to, what was it, find enlightenment or find yourself, you don't do that. What was the quote?
One cannot ascend or you know what? I can't remember. It was one does not achieve enlightenment by imagining figures of light, but by descending into the dark. And I love that quote, and I love his work, because even he's the godfather of psychology, by the way, and I've been really looking into his work along with some of my work with Azazel in alchemy. But he really brought that whole idea of consciousness and the collective consciousness, and he created like the archetypes and the hero's journey and different aspects. He created shadow and shadow work. He really dove into the psyche, and we can thank him for a lot of our spiritual practices today.
Julianne said, that's what I feel. They are two sides of the same energy / entity.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so also. I mean, Courtney, let me ask you a question when it comes to this, because I know that there are people that are very apprehensive when you say demon. They're just like, no, right?
Right.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that certain religions, like push people away from that? Why do you think that is?
So really what that is a giant ego programming and control, in my opinion. Only because it's like, it seems like they took from the occult, okay, so much. And they're saying our way, they're gatekeepers, like giant gatekeepers, because they're like, this is the right way here. Any other way besides this is wrong and evil, and you're gonna like be tortured forever if you don't believe us, even though we're lying to you with like everything.
So they're using demons as like a fear tactic, right?
Right.
Why?
Right.
Because if you actually do work with them and work with your own shadow, then you might actually not need us anymore. We can't make money off of you anymore.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Become your own empowered person.
Correct.
Does that
And
sound about right?
and demon coming from the word daemon, you know, the lighter angelic beings, I mean the fae, demons, they all could be considered these things, even certain deities like ones that they believed walked on the earth, even in Norse mythology. I mean, that could be any, you know, that's such a vast word, but I only use the word demon because that's what people kind of understand. I wish we had a better word for them, but unfortunately we don't. But I mean, that's a really great point you brought up, because I do feel like it deters people from really searching, really looking for the source, looking within, and coming into their own power as well. We're looking to a higher power, which there's nothing wrong with that if that is your thing. However, other people should be allowed to seek their own empowerment as well, if that is what they choose to do. Because if we have the ultimate gift of free will, define that for me. If you're saying I'm gonna go to hell for choosing my destiny, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I think that's another thing that certain religions like to I'm more spiritual than you, I'm closer to God than you because this is how I do it. If you don't do exactly what we do, then you're going to hell. So, you know, it is my job to come out and tell you what you're doing wrong. Well, really? All that kind of behavior does is separate people. If somebody's pointing a finger at you, do you really listen to it? Or do you turn around and say, okay, see ya? Maybe some people do because of fear, right?
Right.
They don't want to go to hell or what have you. But I mean, other than that, if you really want to be empowered, then do your own damn research.
Yes.
And I mean, I tell you, that's why I was so attracted to you that first time that I came to your channel and seen your demon stuff. I was like, no way. It was like instantly I knew I was going to learn something from you, right? I never had, but I was never really big into angels either. So it was like all new stuff for me.
Yeah. And I mean, at first, like I discussed on that live last night, you know, I had that programming still from religion, so I was still a bit fearful. But once I got to know how they worked and operated, I'm kind of like, what? I really don't feel they're evil. They're just different and higher and dimensional. The church calls Lucifer evil, but if he is in hell punishing the bad guys, then good people have nothing to fear, and he is doing the job he is told to do by God. Yeah, I would love to point out, like, the left hand of God, left hand path, is said to be Samal or Samuel or Samael, however you want to pronounce it, which was an early depiction, from my understanding, also depending on the source, of Lucifer, and was Lilith's consort, and also known as the darkness of God. And God has quoted in the Bible, or Yahweh apparently, that he does have a dark side indeed. So that's a contradiction to me, because it's like these things have their purpose, then why are we dragging them so hard? Like, they're creations of God too, are they not? Of the source, you know? When I say God, I think the ultimate sources that created us. You know, I don't think of a big dude sitting up in the sky.
Like strings, like a puppeteer.
Yeah.
Do this and you do this, and yeah.
When I was a kid, though, I used to think that I would look up in the clouds and try to find God. Literally, I'd be like, well, where is he?
Oh, seriously, whenever it would lightning and thunder, my mom would say that God was moving the furniture around up there. Don't worry about it. So we'd be, oh yeah, he's just moving the furniture around again. You know, I mean, yeah, I did think of God in that way when I was little. And then I grew up and realized for me, I knew that was ridiculous. Because why else would even women hold such a low place in that? And I know that others will disagree and say, no, that's not the case. Well, really? I mean, I definitely got that impression from Bible studies and going to church and seeing who the people in power always were, and it was never women. Why?
That's why I love Lilith. Like, I love her story. I just do, because she's like, fuck this bullshit. You know? Oh, and yes, guys, I agree with the whole using entity or like other or higher spirit, which I do try to substitute, but also I am a firm believer, I've said it before, in taking back our power with these words, like, using it. If we could recreate the image while saying demon in a proper way. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but it made sense in my head. Hopefully you know what I'm saying, guys.
I just look at them all now like they're all aliens. They're all aliens to me.
Well, they're definitely higher dimensional. And I mean, again, just this year alone, after working, I called you and said, man, I'm really starting to believe that these are just higher dimensional beings. These are a different group of like aliens. I don't think that's too far-fetched when you really deep dive into that rabbit hole. It isn't, because like Inky and Enlil, like you pointed out.
Right.
And
Enki was considered the serpent, right? In the Garden of Eden.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the one that tempted the woman to eat from the tree of knowledge or the tree of good and bad. I mean, you hear different things, right?
And what
which of course then the woman forced the man, right? She forced the man to eat that tree, from that tree, right? So women are the cause of the fall of sin and all that. Is that not like your hello call, wake up call that something's not right here, right? And Yahweh was Enlil. But if you go back and look at Sumerian history, Enlil was the one that actually wanted to get rid of all of us. It was Enki, who was the serpent in the Garden of Eden, who actually helped try to warn us, right, of the flood that was coming and to prepare and yada, yada, yada. He was the geneticist who created man, supposedly. So,
and even better about that story, did anyone else, when they read the Book of Enoch, to elaborate on part of why I also think they're extraterrestrial? In the Book of Enoch, when it told the story of the serpent that whispered to Eve, Enoch says that he had arms and legs like a man and was in a humanoid figure, but was reptile in skin. So interesting.
Something that I watched recently on the Gaia channel by Julianne, on the Gaia channel, was that the stories of, I think, the Naga in Hindu culture, and they were like the snake people, and you'll see depictions of them, okay, like stone stuff, and that they were protectors of people. Well, according to the stories that I heard on Gaia, when the Anunnaki came, they seen how the people actually looked at the Naga people like they were gods. So they started like implementing almost like what you would think of when Christianity kind of took over the pagans and like merged some of the rituals and the holidays and stuff like that in order to lure them over, right? Well, the same thing kind of happened with the Anunnaki. They started depicting themselves, because of being like shapeshifters or whatever, as like these reptilians with the elongated skulls and all that. And the Anunnaki is a broad term or blanket term for several different types of aliens, not just one type. Because if you even look at old depictions of Enlil and Enki, they don't look the same, and they're brothers. They have the same father, different mothers, but the same father. Interesting, right?
Very. Very. Yeah. So, if you like it, put a ring on it. How did that dance even go? I don't remember. But
Cowboy says, let's not forget that the Bible is written by man and rewritten and translated to fit whoever was in power at the time, and they pick and choose what books are in the Bible. Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely. And then they say, going forward, anybody that has any kind of, dreams, futuristic dreams or prophecies or anything, that's evil. Well, what the hell were all the prophets, right? Who foretold all these things, like Daniel and all that? They were only right and doing God's work when they said that they were right. Everyone else was wrong. Yeah. I mean, come on. Stuff just doesn't add up.
Now, I guess I heard a lot of religious organizations saying that aliens are demons as well. And I'm like, well, maybe they are. So what?
But humanity, I think there's good and bad in everything.
Right.
I don't even want to say good and bad. I just want to say different agendas. Because what might be a different agenda for me, for my survival, might mean, nixay on you if your agenda is trying to kill me or something, right? So it's survival. So, and I mean, human beings can be pretty damn nasty. So
it's true. I agree, doll. Well said. Very well said. So how do you guys enjoy this? Are you liking this? Anything else you'd like us to include next week? Or we are talking about the ones in these decks here. So it's going to kind of be based off these guys, but don't worry, I'll be bringing extra content on the others that I'm working with as we go along as well.
Well, I was thinking, look, you want to do it one of two ways. Either we shuffle, like we said, the major arcana and see what one comes up as the next week's, because we only started with the Fool just because.
Right.
Or take a poll. Do you want to do a poll on your channel each week after this one to see what card they want to do next? Because that's what we're doing based off of the occult tarot.
Yep.
So we can either shuffle and pick out what one we want, and then we'll just do the corresponding and the angel the next week, or you guys can take a poll. What would you prefer?
I love that. I forgot I could do this. Sorry, guys. I would have been doing this all along, but I love that.
That's exactly right, Hellboy.
You people are brilliant there in the comments. Love
and
it.
You see what Pona said, but these super rich hidden families or groups are more dangerous when you think about it. Absolutely they are.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all clandestine, right? You don't know who your enemy is.
Oh, and that's...
Well, just like the auditorium of the Vatican. Looks like a giant snake head in the Vatican. Necropolis is kind of linked to Satan. Yeah.
I've seen some crazy stuff with the Vatican. Oh, yeah. So shuffle. That's two people want us to shuffle. Okay.
I say shuffle. I think that's kind of fun.
All right. Shall we?
Let the demons decide who wants to come out and play, Lady Knight says. Maria.
Who wants to play?
Oh. Not wherever you are. Which one did you get?
De Carabia? Now, what's interesting is, do you know I had a dream about that sigil not long ago, and I wrote it in my book of shadows, and I did not put the link together at the time. Interesting.
What card is that, honey?
This is the Knight of Pentacles.
But you have to just do the major arcana?
Yeah, let's do that. You know what? I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. I'm not with it today.
That aside, if you did just get something on that there's a reason you just got that.
Yeah. I didn't separate the cards ahead of time.
I have them all. Do you want me to do it?
Thank you. I was so unprepared, guys. I had a rough day, though. Sorry. It will be better next week. I promise you that. My energy, I'm just like...
We're not doing you again. Get back in.
He wants the spotlight, man. He's like, oh, y'all talking about me? What are we talking about?
All right. We got Bifrons, the Hanged Man.
Okay. Very nice.
Says teaches natural and planetary sciences. Ooh, very cool.
And I'm going to try to find like some of their backstories and stuff. I'm going to go back through the Solomon stories with these guys because I do have a few books on that. And I'll bring you a little bit of their backstory too, maybe, because some of their backstories are quite interesting.
This one has to do with lights, corpse lights above graves, and moves bodies so that the souls may be stolen. Isn't
Good
that
answer. Wow.
Yeah, just like well, kind of like that thing that you've seen in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Look at the picture. He's like holding the skin aside. Isn't that wild?
That is. You know, I think I found one I'm actually not that familiar with, but so which good question. Yeah.
Thank you for keeping us on track, by the way.
Oh, my poor loyal audience. I love you guys so much. Ooh.
No, Shayal. I don't know.
Now kill. Interesting. Oh, like shedding the old self.
Oh, yes. I love that bonus. This one says desire for knowledge, protects from liars, evil spells, and bad spirits. And it says the only God. Interesting. That's what the name means, the only God. So we got ours next week.
So it'll be interesting. Anyone else got any questions or anything they want to talk about before we call it a night? And thank you all for coming. And thank you, Ponus, for entering the giveaway and all. And it is all appreciated.
Did you see what Maria said? She's the one that said, okay, so what angel is it? And then the first angel.
How awesome.
Like mic drop.
Mine's Mihail. I just found that out today. I never really looked into like angels before, but I found out my guardian one is Mihail, which cool.
And mine is Mitzrael. 60. Well, my first one is.
And good to see you too, Hellboy. Been a while. I noticed you the other day and lit up the roof.
She said lift up the roof.
Oh, lift.
Come on, let's lift it up.
Lit.
Making fun of me. She's showing my age. I am going to be 50 years old next month.
Wow, I hope I look as good as you.
You're very kind. You're very kind.
I'm 50. No, I'm serious. My son's laughing at me, guys, for using lit. Like, he's Gen Z, you know, I'm millennial, and he's looking at me like, Mom, just stop. Like,
you're embarrassing yourself, Mom. That's funny.
Yours is Gabriel. And I'm interested in who is my birth demon. Yes, we all have a birth angel and demon counterpart. So find out your guardian angel and then look up its counterpart.
Not just that, we also have angels that are associated with our life path. We've got angels that are associated with our names. So I found that out in July. Love you too, honey. So, yeah. I was looking at this stuff in July because I was going to do a video on it.
Wow.
I I have this Trello. Trello is a place where I go for putting my notes for future videos. And in July, which was like right before I got sick, right? I had put down what my 3 were so that I could do a future video on it. And then all of a sudden, after all this, I had forgot about it all. And then angels. So they've been trying to get a hold of us for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Well, thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you for coming. And I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Take care.